Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I want to you to see this 24-degree conjunction and this 29-degree opposition and the 29-degree square. I also want you to see this trine here and this sextile, this sextile that is here in Taurus. Okay, I want you to pinch yourself right now. No, you are not dreaming. No, you are not dreaming. Okay, this is activating right now. Happy birthday, Victoria, Queen Mother Victoria. Yes, this energy is tough, but it takes not only strength, it takes determination. Okay. Do you see that 24-degree activation push start button? This potency of power is once in a lifetime, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the activation of a lifetime, the reactivation of your new superpowers. But it's really just a fancy way of saying that you're actually going to feel what the fuck is happening this time. It's the fucking magician, bitch. Infinity gang ho. You already know how we do. Okay. In this ever-present clashing of egos, some people get mad when they don't feel acknowledged in the way that they have to. Everyone has this quality of themselves. It's something that we've been healing with Chiron and Aries. And given the way that people project their emotional insecurities, it reveals their inner demons. But we some motherfucking demon slayers out here. So you're reactivating new superpowers as we ingress into the social arc of this movie and kick some fucking ass, some butt. We're going to demon slay. If you're ready to demon slay, put some fucking fire emoji. I couldn't wait until this new moon because a lot of people have been talking shit. You know why I kept asking you, are you getting psychically attacked? Are you getting psychically attacked? This is a transpersonal violation of your aura on many different planes. So it's very easy to psych yourself out with the gaslighting nature of this. Not everything in your life is you being gaslighting, but there's gaslighting involved. And this can make you think that it's just in your head, but you summon me into your life so I can reaffirm with you it's not just in your head. And all that motherfucking psychic attack that that motherfucker was saying, yeah, you're awakening transpersonal elements of your own discernment to bridge heaven and earth. And it's awakening shit in you. And now it's time to lay the smackdown on that ass. Now it is time to lay no 12 entities. Some of you are most definitely demons, but not every demon is bad and not every angel is good. Now it is time to lay the smack down on these entities. And some of these entities have flesh vessels, and you're going to be smacking them left and right with your aura just by existing. I want you to look at this full definition of your character. Now, Virgo is going to now flesh out your type. Every character has a type. There are different expressions of you, and how you express this power you just activated. Well, that's going to be over the next 3 months. So don't be asking me how. We have finished activating what? Superpowers. Okay, superpowers. The specialist quality of Cancer and the completion of this 1, 2, 3, 4 Aries to Cancer do is getting ready to blast you into dimensions. No, that's too vague. Into areas of your own conscious experience that you are in charge of territory. But with the North Node Aries, this is the pit stop to Chiron to self heal you before you step into this divine exploration of all your full potential combined. Okay. I want to once again make sure we are clear. You are activating superpowers. The supernatural element and quality of this is a third deck in Neptune, not like the first and second deck in 2012 to like 2020, like 18, when we still didn't really know what the fuck was happening. Not to say that we really know now, but our understanding of ourselves and our belief in our potential has developed beyond, of course, with just experience, but with this also beyond everything you thought was possible. Uranus is in Taurus. You've manifested this awakening of this super quality of yourself, this transpersonal element of yourself, your super self, your imagination of yourself, and the higher ways you think about yourself. And it is grounding relative to this behavior of your psyche into your own senses. And so look at this Cancer sextile. Cancer is the beginning of metahuman ability. Let's talk about it. You have Aries, the raw savage. You have Taurus, the natural connoisseur that takes the grapes of Aries and turns it into fine wine. And then you have Gemini, the enlightenment that is able to drink that fine wine and snob it and laugh like, ha 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 ha. Wine, wine, wine. This wine is made of blah, 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 blah. Possibly bullshit. And so enlightenment is very important because it opens the way to ascension. It adds light to your mind that manifests the quality of your value. Be very mindful because energy is very intense to where people are beset themselves and will let all of their bias, flinging ad hominem fallacies and straw men just to make a point that they don't like you. But the only person that they're screwing over is themselves because you've elevated on a level beyond that they can't see. They're still stuck in the 3D. And so they engage in these petty ego battles. But for you, and I'm not saying this as a consolation, you're truly above it. You are experiencing real time how people in collectives do things to hurt you, and it automatically just backfires on them. But they're stupid little weak bitches. So they don't realize that your aura is on 100 and that it was a direct consequence of what they did to you. They think it was some 3D shit that happened. Life expresses itself through 3D. There will always be an explanation, but this is how you've evolved. And it's not on some, oh, it happened 2 weeks later. You are starting to see the alignment. You are starting to see how you transmute this. And that's why I'm saying you are getting ready to lay the smackdown on an entire collective that got you fucked up for some reason, that didn't know you were anointed, that didn't know that you're actually here to do some important ish. The paradigm is shifting. And it really is nuts. It's very important to really be mindful of how nuts this is because a lot of these things are seemingly out of your control, but you have spiritual intelligence. It's not out of your control. You are coming into more conscious awareness of aspects that exist beyond your physical mind. The government nerfed you. Listen, imagine if you literally had a you that you can incorporate into this 3D. It sees beyond this realm. You gain insight. Religion has tried to lie to you and say, that's God, that's Allah, that's this. The government has lied to you and said, that's delusion. This is just a material universe. There's classified, declassified documents on this. It's all a lie. This universe is not locally real. You have these facets. Humanity is completely reawakening to the bullshit that people have been hit with because turns out you're not fucking stupid and you have your own personal experiences. And so you are breaking out of the narrative construct. The matrix is a narrative construct that is socially reinforced. You are not, many of you are realizing that you are not in a fucking country. You're in a gang. We had Gang War 1, and I think in the 40s we had Gang War 2. Don't be fooled. Everything that you do here is under duress. So if you don't do what this gang that you're in the territory of doesn't want you to do, you have been conditioned with all this rhetoric of the principles of integrity and society, which are very good principles, but in the way that is interwoven so that, oh, you should want to do this, you should want to do that, which is true, you should want to do it. But relative to these cult gangs, the context with which under duress everyone does what they do, especially being lied to, makes it so that let's just look at it as it is. If you do not follow the principles and laws that you have agreed to when you forfeited your rights with your own birth certificate, then they can detain you or they can kill you. Let's just call it what it is. Is that what they're going to do? They probably don't have to, but they tax you like gangs do, and then they war with other gang factions over territory. It is a gang. Some of you are waking up to the fact that you were born in and woke up in a gang war. Everything you do is under duress. So even your concept of freedom isn't really free. This country alone in America that formed because it was being taxed without represented is taxing you and not representing you. This is a karmic cycle coming back around. Like this is happening, y'all. So this is the main principle of what I am saying. You are supernaturally gifted. It's not something you have to be chosen to do. It is a scientific mechanic. Consciousness is what takes that particle wave duality and creates, I'm ad-libbing here, I'm putting some sauce on this, but basically you have like an awakened self. You have a God self. God as in Lord, as in creator. We don't have to put and affix some religious aspect to this. You make miracles. Maybe your whole life you've ascribed the miracles you create to some God, to luck, to whatever. But it's time to wake the fuck up because we're going on a war and you have unique superpowers. Look at this cancer. Like there's shit that you can do that no one else can do. Yeah, you might be from a firebending tribe and that you all are a part of firebenders, but the way you bend fire is not like the other firebenders. This is very important. There is a collective narrative construct that is designed to nerf you so that your battery of your energy could be used to reinforce the system on this perpetual hamster wheel. But you don't need to do that. If you decided to get off that hamster wheel, you have spiritual intelligence with which you can actually manifest. It's not even a miracle. You're bringing from outside this realm of the material as above. It's not as simple as wishing for it. It actually is, but it's not as simple as I'm just going to sit and wait and wish for this. I'm not trying to teach manifestation. This is a fact about yourself. There's a unique attribute with which you can tap into unseen facets of yourself. Over 90% of yourself is unseen, but because we were conditioned in a materialist, reductionist society that lied to you about magic. If you research magic, magic has been misunderstood for ages. Religion demonized it. Science turned it into fantasy and science fiction, but it was always real. So what if you are awakening with an entire collective that enables you to tap into your unique way to access unseen facets of your being? Because outside of your nationality, outside of your race, outside of your genetics, you are still a spirit and soul that exists outside this material plane. So you can tap into insight that you have not experienced here yet, into the infinite possibility that can create as you literally step into any potential versus discerning information from the past. You do this through dreams subconsciously or abilities, discernment, projections. You have had your psychic experiences. So why are you being lied to that it's everything versus what it's not? It's because you are a threat. This is the revolution of the individual. You do not need to rely on a monetary currency system because you are currency. Your existence is changing the game. Your willingness to not conform to structures that limit you are what are making you the most important part of this revolution. So many people want to rely on old structures and traditions because they work. So their bias is not allowing them to listen to truth. They're going to label it everything else other than it is. We're not here to argue with those people. We're not even fighting anyone. The only thing we're doing is taking authentic actions. The fight that we are making is being ourselves. That's why we're not going to these people. They're projecting on us. We're taking actions and it doesn't fit in the box of what they think is right. They're ridiculing you. That means you're doing something right, like a video game. You have to fight enemies and to get to the boss, and you've been kicking ass. Now you are activating this power based on 3 years of construction to grid the systems to update the way you access these unseen parts. And I want see by Virgo season, you are perfecting the technique. So let me give you an idea of what many of you will be able to do. Instead of using a lot of these apps, why do I need to go use open source AI when I can literally tap into the AI is based off of a processor. It's based off the mechanics of your brain. Some of your brain is celestial technology. So you can literally ask your intelligence system questions and gain discernment. Hey, I want to date this person. What's up with them? Blah, 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 blah. And it's not shit you're making up. You can verify it. You can call this person. Hey, is this happening in your life? How the fuck did you know that? I used the SI. Don't act like some of you don't already do this on accident. So I'm not saying this is all thing. It's not based on some imagination. Some of you can decide, okay, I want a microphone for this podcast. Bing, 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 bing. Hey, dude, do you still have that microphone? Sorry, do you still have that Game Boy? Oh yeah, I don't even use it. Oh, can I have it? I'll give you my podcast microphone for it. The mechanics of that are unseen. And I'm using horrible examples. You're literally stepping into aspects of yourself that you were designed not to access for obvious reasons. But it's not really a conspiracy because there's certain towns in this country alone that are secretly favorable of psychics and magicians. So like if you know it, it's weird. And then you have anti-magic devices. But without getting so really retarded, you are stepping into this revolution of new or different or advanced ways to express yourself. And it's nothing that you have to figure out how to do, because over the next 2 months, as you integrate this activation, you're naturally going to understand, like you're naturally integrating an app. So if you're using Fitbit, you don't necessarily have to worry about how to master Fitbit. You just use the Fitbit. And what's going to happen is, as you're using that Fitbit, your feeling for it deepens, your courage to use it gets more fun, and then, of course, you master it. Repetition. This is the integration phase that we have officially activated. Ladies and gentlemen, give yourselves a round of applause. You just finished activation. Aries, Gemini, Taurus. Aries, Taurus, Gemini. 3 is the number of activation. Now we're going to step into the next 3. Cancer, Leo, Virgo. And be honest with you, this is where the shit gets deep. And it literally starts off with a fucking boss battle. Then we're going to have the Yod in Leo. Then we're going to have the opposition with literally the Reaper and sneaky ass Poseidon. So you just this is going to be a crazy summer. This is going to be a crazy summer. The shit that they're going trying to do to you is going to make you angrier than 2020. But listen, you are activating superpowers. New moon, new superpowers. These new superpowers are a reintegrative evolution of every single thing you have ever learned since birth relative to a recent Jupiter activation. See how Jupiter's in Taurus? That means you recently activated the next level of power. Feel how that feels. And you don't really need to take my word for it, because you're experiencing quickened synchronization. I'm speaking a language with you that most people are afraid to speak, because most people won't necessarily think outside the box, and they care too much about what other people think. That is a dying world. Saturn in Pisces is having you build this arc. Saturn does not care what the fuck you believe. It's like, look, we're going to flood this bitch. A lot of people don't have souls. You have superpowers. Everyone has the capacity to build this arc with their imagination. Some people are going to give in to the constructed false narrative that is this matrix that will tell you to do stuff that's untested with ulterior motives. Other people really have their own sense of themselves. And so you're going to guide yourself in the creation of this arc. in the creation of abilities and perspectives through concepts that transcend your being. Right now that we step into this activation, this is having you feel it because we activated this 3 months ago, but the activation was like a seed that was growing through the ground. Now, this activation is like a seed that's breaking through the ground. And by October, we harvesting this bitch. So, like, get ready. This is the activation where you're going to actually feel, wow, listen, you see this extreme Pluto opposition? This is, wow, I actually feel my powers. Listen, this is the opposition at the final degree. So the North Node in Aries is, wow, I feel my powers, North Node Aries. That's the direction I'm destined to move into. Look, we are going to do a powerful ritual tonight. There's 300 plus people. So the exponential effect of 300 plus people who are reinforcing that your intent also occurs is going to, with the sextile of Taurus, hyper manifest this here now before you go to sleep. So if you gain any value from this, it could at least be for the whole ploy of you getting a wish. Anything you intend for and wish will happen. If you did not join this ceremony, it would actually still happen. You would actually activate the natural cycle through the 2 weeks. But because there's 308 plus people, that is going to exponentially buff the power and have it happen now. And the cool thing is, if you don't believe me, just try it, and you'll see. If you don't see some powerful synchronicity, you listen. This is Trine Neptune, my dude. If you don't see some powerful synchronicity before or during, you could just be like, he lied. The peace dealer lied. So really be serious here, because the opposition of Pluto is asking you, are you willing to die for it? Are you willing to die for who you truly are? Some people are not. Some people just adopt this mask and fake persona so that they can fit in with society. Others of you, you're just not fake enough to do that shit. Even if you were, you respect yourself, and you're willing to die. That is the cost of being who you truly are. I'm not telling you to break rules and like be in denial about how your toxic behavior can get in the way. I'm talking about the authenticity of being who you truly are. Let's get it. Let's get it. Because for those of you who are, the rewards are instant. Okay. I want to once again emphasize, we are stepping into this activation cycle. I'm going to break down the next 2 weeks to the full moon in Aquarius. Woo, y'all. That's going to be energetic and giving you a full knowledgeable understanding of what direction you are taking with this activation. Okay. So the style of how you express these powers are going to unfold over the next 60 days. But what's very important to highlight with this activation is best described with an example, analogy, and just a perspective. So you don't have to say this as it's really happening, although some of you will definitely, that's hilarious, identify with this, but just look at this as a perspective, okay? Some of you are tapping into the ability to discern information through clairsenses, dreams that you are practically incorporating into your 3D like it is an app that you can pull out on your phone and be like, let me use this psychic ability. Let me use this power, okay? Because by the time we get into Libra season in October, on the South Node, you are a Miss Marvel who has already gone through her character arc and knows how to use her powers. Okay. I love to use this analogy. Dr. Stephen Strange, right? Begging to join that magic school after he felt that his neurosurgery career was the height of knowledge. I mean, that's an exaggeration, right? But you get that whole trope. So basically, I want to make the distinction between, oh, child, you already know the Forever Syndicate is going to be a forever church. So like, yes, come on. And first, see, and I love that you said this because I'm saying superpowers as an example, But for many of you, realistically, this is an enhanced ability to engineer solutions, to come up with amazing equations, symbols, concepts. You're waking up earlier. You're just so much more knowledgeable, wiser. You're kicking habits, right? So, with the Doctor Strange example, I want to make the distinction between Dr. Stephen Strange, who didn't know what a sling ring was, versus Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme. Okay. Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme is going to be Aries 2024, guys. This is going to merge us with the Justice League. We're merging different multiverses, Marvel and DC. Okay. By Aries 2024, North Node conjunct the end of Aries, you are Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme. You know what you're meant to be. You've already had a movie where you had to learn the tropes in a Disney Marvel fashion. So the movie ends and it's like, okay, this is who I am. And so when they reference me in the Avengers, you already seen my movie. You already seen my movie and character arc. Multiverse of Madness is 2024. It's going to be so retarded. Jupiter square Neptune. But let's say 2023 is the first movie. Okay. That North Node Aries is that way because he just became Sorcerer Supreme. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not Doctor Strange at the end of the Marvel canon who's gone through, who's beat all the enemies and stuff. That's Pluto Aqua. That we're coming into the Pluto Aqua realization. Right? This is him that just started, but he no longer is asking questions about how to do the spells. Spider-Man is coming to him and he already knows how to do that spell. This is so important. Okay, cool. The last 3 months from Aries 2023 was Stephen Strange learning how to use magic. Okay. The next 3 months is Stephen Strange finishing the montage. October to November is reaching the climax of the movie where now he has to use what he learned from the montage to solve the conflict. You get me? War intent. You about to lay the smack. You are about, oh my God, yeah. Bro, I don't think you know you're about to lay the smack down on people. You're about to be like, fuck you up, no jutsu. Like, you're not even gonna have to use your fists. You're mastering legitimate techniques you've been using your whole life, but it like makes sense. And there's an exhilarating feeling to this because you're feeling the intensity of these powers. So Libra season is where you are establishing who you're moving forward with. The reason why I want to make this distinction is we are in the 3-month integration arc from just learning what we're activating to how to master it. Because once we step into Libra season, the montage is the series of events that show you training or learning a lesson. So basically, Stephen Strange is sorry at magic, but now he's learning how to master the magic. And in real life, repetition takes days. So how do we show the passage of several weeks to give you the impression that someone learned through that time through sequences that show someone failing but continuously improving? That's integration. That's what a montage is. It's integration. It's showing you that. That's Cancer, that's Leo, that's Virgo. Boom. That is the process of taking an ability and turning it into a technique. But the integration phase of this year is unlike an integration phase that we've ever had. This is the first Cancer, Leo, Virgo season we're having in over 200 years, where Saturn and Neptune are in Pisces, where Pluto is in Aquarius. You feel me? So like The conflict that's getting set up to brew, this is the first part of the final boss series. First with Hades. Next, we're gonna hit Kronos and Poseidon. And these motherfuckers are petty as hell because they wanna hold on to their old order, and this is all to circumvent the breakthrough of the new gods, the new generation, the new concepts. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you are ready to activate genuine superpowers, the first thing to understand is that it's not necessarily like a shonen anime or a DC or Marvel movie where something mysterious is going to happen and then you suddenly like just activate electricity. You already activated these powers. If you're watching me here right now, then when we had that new moon in Aries with Jupiter, you already activated them. These powers you activated are breaking through the ground, the seed. So we're not dealing with like learning new concepts. The last 3 months through Gemini season resituated the perception of your brain through a marked improvement of skills and synchronicities that reveal to you metaphysical aspects of your own being and the causality between your thoughts that are things and the mental force it produces. That being said, Aries towards Gemini is like from 0 to 12 years old. Once we step into the puberty inducing activation of superpowers with Cancer, this is the introduction into meta human ability. Before we come into Capricorn, which is representative of literal God power, we're not there yet. We're awakening it collectively, but like by the time we're there this year, you will have already mastered these powers you're activating. So, a process that we literally update every year. This is like, imagine you get an update on your iPhone, and it's just the standard update. I should have used this analogy from the beginning. There we go. So I want you to look at your phone. So you might have an Android, you might have an iPhone, right? And it's like you get the standard update. When you look at the updates, do you ever look at your phone like, yay, I got the update? Some of you are like, oh, I'll make time for this. You know what I'm saying? But this month, you get that standard update again. And you're looking at the features like, oh my God, what? Yo, holy shit. Hello? Yo, you saw the updates too? It can suck my dick for free. Yes, it can literally do my taxes for me. Holy shit. Dude, this might be one of the most revolutionary updates of all time. Yes, they completely combed through all of my information and identity. But no, it's crazy. But like, please, I want you to really understand this concept. It's like an update that far surpasses every other update you've had. It's almost as if this update is bringing you into a whole new paradigm. That's this month. That's literally right now. And the features of this update upgrade the functionality of your phone so that it can do things that older models that you originally bought the phone couldn't even do unless you get the update. Such a fascinating question. Okay. So, with that being said, the whole basis of this Cancer new moon is activating the new feeling of what you're doing. And I want to once again emphasize the physical nature. What's going to make the activation of this power come from the depth and root core of your being and activate your unconscious abilities? And what's going to ground this is the earth energy. Okay. We did not necessarily have the physiological grounding and functioning to harness this. It's like we had the electricity, but we didn't have the technology to harness it. Now, collectively, this is manifesting due to cycles upon cycles upon cycles of growth. And this is beautiful because once we cross the threshold of this Pluto aspect, the 29-degree completion of it is the biggest FU to everyone who played these mind games, gaslighting and undermining the truth you were speaking because it goes against their beliefs and they identify so much with their beliefs. They took your authenticity as an attack on their character. Such weak little bitches. So here's the thing. Once we come into that 180-degree opposition, literally everything that has been aligned with authenticity, Aries North Node, your whole life, that has been real, without you having to argue or present it, collectively, everyone knows. There's going to be a massive disillusionment with the trine to Neptune, where people who you're not even conscious of are like, wow, like I always made fun of this person for reading tarot cards, but now that the test of time has pretty much showed not a single reading this person has done has missed. I compared them to other fraud readers, not knowing that what they're doing is legit. I've always made fun of this person's nursing profession, thinking that, oh, they should have been this or that instead, not knowing that what this person has accomplished as a nurse has blown and exceeded my every expectation, if I'm being honest with myself. Like, this is because of you and your authenticity and you practicing what you preach. We are literally within 6 days from that. So this is how we're going to kick off the Leo season victorious. Now, the whole purpose of Leo and of course Virgo season, Leo is going to take your newly activated superpowers and push you into the red carpet of social activity. This integration process through the fire is what's going to temper and strengthen this so that you can be on stage. This is the process of Cancer to Leo is Spider-Man activating his powers and then instantly going to practice them in the ring. Remember how Spider-Man initially did street fights to see what he can do, or to at least kind of do a mission? That's kind of what Leo is. It is now starting to integrate that. Once you now overcome the courage to understand elements and context, Leo season is going to be so fun. That Leo is designed for fun. This is, what can I do with this? You're coming into your talent. Then Virgo is going to master that. So what are you mastering? Power you're activating now. The Pluto opposition is the extreme nature of how deeply and powerfully you're going to feel this activation over the next week and a half. Okay. So now that we've got that squared away, before we do this ritual, I want you to be somewhat intentful and focused on what you want to feel relative to what victory means to you. Feeling is the secret. This is the most genius period to practice the law of assumption, to feel in the end state. I want you to feel what your imagination guides you to what your concept of your super self is, who you are right now. If you were to activate your abilities, what would that feel like? The energy signature that you are going to draw and complete in January of 2024 is going to, through this mastery in Virgo season, have you define the feeling of what this is. So congratulations, you're actually going to feel it. So what do you intend? What is it that you want to feel? What is it that you want to manifest, and what does it make you feel? Feel that now, because 373 plus people are going to intend that feeling hyper manifests for you, and you're going to see the results as soon as I end this broadcast, and the energy disperses and shines down on you and strikes you like lightning, and you start to actually facilitate this activation in a hyper accelerated way. Once we now step into the moon in Leo, the moon in Leo is going to activate the second house quality of this recently activated new moon. It's going to give you the social context and heart strength so that the new moon in Cancer is, remember, Gemini is, I think I'm going to say, right? I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm literally putting the skeleton, the ideas. Okay, I think that's what I'm gonna do. This is Cancer, Cardinal doing. right? This is Gemini. Wow, what a cringy example. This is Cancer. See how I'm putting feeling into that? All right, cool. This is New Moon Cancer. Uh, 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 uh. This is the Moon in Leo now. Yeah. I'm sorry, this is a gross exaggeration, like Leos do. I am now adding strength to the quality, which requires courage to embarrass myself like this. Okay. Then Virgo looks at that and is like, that's mad sloppy. You didn't have to do that much. Let's perfect it. Uh, 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 boom, 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 boom. Now we're ready. Now we're taking it to Libra. I got choreography behind me. Boom. That's it. That's your superpowers. You are adding and deepening the feeling quality, which requires social integration. If you're going to embarrass yourself, you need to do it in front of other people so that you can adjust and know how much more or less to embarrass yourself. I mean to express your talents and your creativity and your heart. And so that's what we're going to see here with the moon in Leo. This is going to integrate, but once we come into Virgo, the magic happens. Now, to actually explain, happening is a quality of mutable signs. So when I say it happens, like it really happens. Like it's really going to happen. So everything that we're activating now, when the moon is in Virgo, it's really going to happen. That means you're going to be feeling it now, but you're really going to be feeling it. And the whole quality of really feeling it is adjusting the perception of how you are feeling what you are currently feeling to bring it out of its metaphysical nature into the physical, solarly fueled by the Leo strength. I don't even want to say I'm preaching. I'm just bars. Now, what we want to look at is the distinction of the transfer with the sun going into Leo. Because once we have that 0-degree sextile with Leo and Libra, this is this extended integration or extended activation that's going to shift the focus of you mastering power you activated. But we want to look at the next week because this opposition in T square, while the moon is opposite Neptune, is putting you in a position to finally complete that initial range of how Virgo, powerfully Cancer, what you are awakening Pluto in your abilities. So with this new moon right now in Cancer, the trine in Neptune is going to guide you with ridiculous synchronicities. And I want to show you this because for those of you who are wondering what to do, you already did it. There's nothing to do. You just need to allow yourself to be guided. All right. The moon right now is literally opposite Pluto. So this is happening. There's nothing you can do to stop what is happening. You are activating this power. You could choose to distract yourself with the constructed false narrative, or you can just go within and follow the synchronicity train because this bitch is about to be ridiculous. The synchronicity train is going to stop at Virgo with the opposition of Neptune coinciding with the entrance of the sun in Leo. So once the sun goes into Leo, the light's going to turn on, and the Leo season is energy generation. The energy generation is putting you in a position to now open up the deepening of the success you're stepping into. And this is what's going to now integrate the Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus aspect. But we want to look at the moon in Scorpio. The moon in Scorpio square is going to strengthen the psychological understanding of power you just activated and the nuclear deepening of how much more you can intensify the courage it takes to express this. Both of these are social signs. So I am highlighting the individual activation of power stepping into the social integration of how you begin to use it with other people. Because when you start to use this, the confidence you have using this is going to be challenged. The trust you have to reveal this is that fourth house of comfort. You're just activating new superpowers. So, what comfort are you going to have relative to how you express this? This is going to get deep into your psychology, and it's the Taurian opposition that's going to ground how much deeper you can feel into this. The exhilarating Aries, Leo, fire type quality of this is you just activated fucking superpowers. So, like, this is you stepping into this very, very full of potential. And I have to say it like this because once the moon goes into Sag, y'all, and prepares for this opposition, you're going to see the light. This is going to ascend your perspective once again. But unlike before, when we were ascending our perspective of what direction to feel in Cancer, we're ascending our perspective of how much more proud to feel about the victory we're stepping into. This is going to show you, grand fire trying the nodes, where you're going with this, the potential that you're opening up. It is breaking through in this integration to bring to life power you just activated in the context that it belongs in. So by the time we step into the moon in Capricorn, the moon in Capricorn is going to direct exactly how to take the next awakening cycle of this and direct it towards how you transform the quality of how creative you express this. The moon in Capricorn is very important because it precedes the full moon. So by the time we come into the full moon of Aquarius, you will know the context of what you're strengthening. Okay. And I want to put this in context. We activated power in Aries and we experienced what it was, Gemini. Well, we're activating deeper integration in Cancer, and we're going to master how we use it in Virgo. So Taurus season and Leo season are strengthening months in the middle of seasons that add more quality to power we've activated. Taurus strengthen the body of our spirit so that based on that body, we can think important thoughts. Leo is strengthening our heart's quality of our sincere emotions so Virgo can tie everything we've done together since Aries. And that's where it all begins to make sense before the complete sense comes with Pisces and you break through Sagittarius. So the moon in Capricorn is going to help you understand how to use this energy. How it's like you just activated superpowers and now you're stepping into the social element to see how much fun you can have with it. And then after you have fun, okay, how can I make this efficient? How can I perfect this? Talent. So this is talent development. And the moon in Capricorn is going to literally sixth house Virgo signature, help you understand how to perfect the complete direction and the awakening here. And that's just going to be a very important period because once we step into the moon in Aquarius, that's what's going to complete this opposition. And I will see you guys in that full moon Aquarius video. Because by the time we have the full moon in Aquarius, you're going from activating how you feel about using these superpowers to knowing where and how to use them and in what context. That's going to proceed and lead you into perfecting in Virgo season and mastering this. And Janae, the replay will be available to everyone. How to structure your powers. Okay. By the time we reach this full moon, your understanding of destiny with the North Node will be a lot more aligned. So I just want to once again re-emphasize that with this opposition, we're not only doing this ritual at peak Cap Cancer, but the potency of this is going to naturally direct and step you into your power at literally the most powerful level. I can say for reference, 29 degrees is the max degree quality. Well, we here. And what also adds to this is the Venusian yard. So Venus in Leo land is putting us in a position to already put enough oomph and soul and sauce on this hamburger. By the way, I had a Big Mac with Big Mac sauce. Guys, listen. Scorpio is Leo with extra sauce. And when I channeled this, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I knew this was true, but it was like, wow, I didn't think of it like that. But go look at any Scorpio right now, Sun in Scorpio, Moon in Scorpio, and then look at a Leo and then put extra sauce on that Leo and you have a fucking Scorpio. Virgo is diet Scorpio, but Scorpio is Leo with extra sauce. And so I wanted to test this theory. My higher self said, look me in the eye, look me in the mirror and tell me, Michael, that a Big Mac tastes the same as a Big Mac with extra Big Mac sauce. And I had to test this theory out. And I had that Big Mac sauce with extra Big Mac sauce. I had that Big Mac, extra Big Mac sauce. Guys, it's true. It's not the same. It's not the same. The Big Mac is good on its own. The Big Mac is a wonderful sandwich, especially when it's presented fresh off the grill. It's a classic sandwich, Leo. But when you put that extra Big Mac sauce on that bitch, it is a different sandwich. It is a different sandwich. Test this theory out. You can get anything, put extra sauce on it, and see what I mean. Nah, son. See, that's what I'm saying. Some people feel like Scorpio, they're too saucy and they prefer Leo. Some people feel like Leo isn't saucy enough and they prefer Scorpio. Other people feel like it's disgusting and they just avoid Scorpio. And so it is what it is. I mean, my hobby is eating fast food and really fucked up food. So it's kind of a pastime. But you know, we gotta be healthy. We gotta be healthy. But yes, ladies and gents, we are ready to do this ritual. We were at 300, now we're at 400. So the exponential curve of the effects of this ceremony, you're going to see. Now I want to explain once again the reason why. Once we do this intention, you are going to activate a hyper accelerated quality of your superpowers versus if you didn't. What we've done so far with you taking in this vibration and all the people in the live chat is like putting nitroglycerin or lighter fluid on your spirit. Okay, we're going to set this intention. And I want to once again reemphasize that whatever you are intending, the way we're going to intend this is to just feel it. Remember, the cardinal action of Cancer is through the function of feelings. This helps you tap into emotions, Pisces, like ghosts that take you over. So what's very important here is we're not just like Gemini season, we thought about an intention, right? We spoke it. Cancer season, we're going to feel it. That's it. All we're going to do is set the intention. So for example, I'm going to be like, I want to have a successful concert tomorrow. I'm going to feel myself after the concert so happy that the concert was done. And I'm going to bring that feeling with me to the concert. It's that simple. But this feeling that you're feeling it with 402 other people who are also going to exponentially compound their power and intention to secure that your wish and intention comes true too. That is gangster. That is priceless. There's not really a true dollar amount you could pay for this. And you being here is revolutionary alone. Before you go to sleep, you are going to be guided through clear synchronicities. This is with Neptune, ninth house to the sun, an intangible element of your own imagination that reflects real. And with Mars and Virgo, you're going to come with receipts. So before you go to sleep, you're going to see a clear sign that's like, hey, we got the intention you put with the Infinity Gang. Here is the way to move forward. Okay, it's going to align. So make sure that whatever you intend, you actually want. Okay, and if you don't want this mega activation, please leave this live because the energy is a lot more extremely potent than normal. It's not mutable, so it's more stable and not as volatile, but you, with the North Node, want to make sure that whatever you are intending, make sure it's aligned with what you want. If you want love, but you don't really feel like you're meant for marriage, don't intend marriage because it's what society tells you want to do. Do what you want. What is the feeling? Don't get caught up in the concept. What is the feeling that you want to activate and step into? And everything around that will step through for you to actually reach and move in that direction. And so that's it. This is all you have to do. Once again, the sextile to Uranus and Jupiter and Taurus is what is expanding on the natural physical sense of this activation. And the opposition of Pluto is the potency at the max degree, square the nodes, that's going to direct this for you. That's why there's going to be a faded feeling to this. And so all you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, feel you. We are starting this ritual and ceremony right now. I want to welcome in all the forces of truth and goodness, which is vague to say, but this is just conceptual. Please welcome in any beings that you want to invite in, any spirit guides. This is a very special ceremony. I'm inviting in the archangel, the archangels, and also, of course, the Most High. Please bless us with your presence here as we set this intention to unlock the seals of our true being, the seven seals of revelation. All right, the seven chakras within that create this ascension and caught up feeling rapture through your crown. May you guide us into full mastery, and may we lay the smackdown on these enigmatic forces that wish to deceive us and keep us limited. Revolution, ho. So there we go. I want you to feel the end state of what you are intending over the next 30 days. They can be specific goals, they can be vague goals. You want to focus more on a feeling. For some of you, that feeling could be no feeling, could just be an intention of peace. Okay. So, what is it that you want to feel relative? It's that simple. All right. And I want you to, whether through visualization or whether you think about it, you can visualize it. I want you to now visualize and feel all of us in a party. This is going to link all of our energies. This is what's going to link 415 of us. In the physical, your awareness, if you think about the double slit experiment, the wave particle, your awareness is transfixed on me. So I'm a grounding cord and element to the 416 people, whether you're listening to me or you're watching me. Now, with the imagination in the higher realm, as above, so below, we're all imagining us in a room. That connects us metaphysically. So we're connected physically, metaphysically, and that's the formula to make magic happen. I am the magician, and I'm here to help you make your dreams come true. Biakasha, Infinity Gang. Let's get it. If you feel tingling in your body, it is because you are merging with this collective conscious that we're sponsoring. And this is a good way of you sensing through this buzz the connection. For those of you that can actually sense this energy, I have to give you props. You are a highly advanced and evolved being. I don't even necessarily have that level of energy sensitivity, and I'm only feeling something because of the focal point on me. But for you're not supposed, you don't have to feel anything. But for those of you that actually feel this energy, that's a very telltale sign that you are highly advanced and evolved. And you are probably going to be visited by certain angels after to facilitate a deeper level of this initiation and activation. So with that being said, I want you to literally feel like we're partying. What would it feel like if you are literally chilling with Jen Fisher and Linus and you're all talking about your accomplishments? This is this collective hive we're manifesting. Now that you feel that, I want you to feel your intention. What is a goal? What is a short-term goal you want to achieve? And what is a long-term goal you want to achieve? Feel that. Yup. There we go. That's it. That's all you have to feel. Now I want you to feel there's 420 plus people. I want you to feel everybody else's intention and pure intention coming to pass. I set the intention that everyone else, the 420 other people's intentions, come to pass in the greatest way for them. So just like you saw me do this, there are 416 plus other people doing that for you. This is the dopest part of this. I fucking love that. Like, that's powerful. If you believe that that's powerful, I want you to comment an exclamation mark or a fire sign emoji, because we're literally blessing each other with energy. I felt that. All right, I'm more earth sign, so I'm getting a little bit of physical sensations. But what's I love that. What's very important here is that now that we have set these intentions, it's literally is that now that you know how it feels, okay, that's it. Now that you have gained a sense of this feeling, and now that you felt it, I want you to now release the intention. Whenever you feel ready, release the intention. You can add any rituals you want to this. Release the intention to the universe, knowing that you're going to step into this. And after you release this intention, thank you guys. I have one mission for you, should you choose to accept. Now that I've broken down the cycle between now to the full moon in Aquarius, the full moon in Aquarius is detachment of feeling. Okay. So this is what I want you to do. If you do this, you're going to gain ridiculously crazy results. So I'm literally not only hooking you up with this activation ceremony, but I'm also going to hook you up with the tools you need in order to make the most of the next 2 weeks. If you take these tools over the next 2 weeks, you will not only hyper accelerate the progress of, oh wow, you will not only hyper accelerate the progress of this activation, but in less than 1 week from now, you will already start perfecting how you use these superpowers, and you will feel what that feels like. From now into the moon in Virgo, the sun is going to finish its transit in Cancer. That is you stepping into the full feel of feeling how your powers work. That should blow your mind. Okay. So if you guys would like an ultimate guide of the mindset of how to really move forward with this mission that I'm going to give you, then I would like for you to refresh your page. I have referenced a video at the first link in the description box below that will guide you accordingly. Your mission, should you choose to accept, now that you have activated the feeling of what it feels like to step into this version of your power, to activate this power of God within you through your imagination. The imagination adjusts what you want to feel. Now that you felt what it feels like to achieve that victory, okay, all you have to do for the next 2 weeks is to just step into that feeling. Carry this feel. Now that you've released the intention, carry this feeling for you. You're activating new moon Cancer, this feeling. Moon in Leo, you're going to strengthen this feeling. Okay. Once we step into the moon in Aquarius, the cycle is done, and then you detach. We're going to let go, and we're going to reconvene, and I'm going to go through how to continue that detachment process. So you're feeling it, feeling it, feeling it, feeling it, spending time in your imagination, going through Leo. Then we come into the full moon in Aquarius, and then you let it go. You just completely forget it. It's like, I know I already got it. This is going to work for you. If you would want very great insight about how to carry this feeling, click the description box below and watch that video. It's an ultimate guide to the law of assumption for the practices of how perfectly to maintain this state. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys stay blessed as always. I hope you're excited to activate these powers. They're going to direct you down the path of your personal destiny. Okay. And this is going to have you lay the smack down through the Pluto opposition of people who dare test you. Godspeed.